This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We pay Cedric Wilson $7.5 million to be a punt returner, like it would make a difference, but why not a kick returner too? Neither guy can do it, bro. You know, the Cedric Wilson mistake is one that is out of everybody's control. That was part of the first plan, and then Tyreek became available, and Cedric is not a returner. That's not his thing. He's not a kick returner. He's not a punt returner. As I fought all of last year with a lot of you, and over the last couple of years, Jakeem Grant, underappreciated by most of you out there. The kid wasn't as big a problem as people made him out to be. He would have been beautiful in this offense now because he wasn't needed much. And that's the way you needed him. You needed him to focus completely on returns, and he is one of the best. And I just wonder if you never trade Jakeem and he's here, maybe he never gets injured. You know, he signed a free agent contract this offseason and he got injured in training camp, and they lost him for the year, unfortunately. And Miami has to, that's, you know, besides a middle linebacker, besides other things that they may need on this team, they need a kick and punt returner. And I'm sure they're going to try to work on that this offseason, either in free agency or in the draft with one of their picks. But and where they're at, by the way, with the 3 picks they have in the second and third rounds, that's a nice area where you can get a really talented returner. So we'll see. We'll see. But I miss our guy, Jakeem Grant, man. I just kind of felt bad when sometimes we put players in positions in sports where it doesn't, like Caleb Martin. The Heat's doing it out of desperation. Is that really to his benefit? Is that really putting Caleb Martin in the best light to succeed? No, of course not. You're beating him up physically with bigger players. It's unfair to him. It wears him down. He doesn't get to be the player he normally is. It's completely unfair to Caleb Martin. And when you did it to Jakeem Grant, no, he's not a starting receiver in this league. But you had all kinds of injuries, and all of a sudden he's thrusted into the number 3 role. And he's running all kinds of routes, and that's not his thing. And this happens to players all the time, and sometimes it's out of their control, sometimes it's out of desperation. Bobby McCain, they needed a safety. What did they do? They moved Bobby McCain. How did Bobby McCain end the season? Shoulder injury. How big was Bobby McCain? Was he built to be a safety? So don't tell me when a player fails and then you're killing the player and then it's your fault, front office. It's your fault, coaching staff. You chose to put that player there. So if Caleb Martin ends up getting injured by the end of the year, your fault. Miami Heat, you put a guy, you weren't prepared. You didn't plan in the offseason and get a proper power forward and backup. And now you're putting an undersized guy who is wearing down in that position because he doesn't belong there. This happens all the time. And that's what happened to Jakeem Grant. Jakeem Grant should have been only a returner. Occasionally, you run him out there for 6, 7, 8 routes. Maybe you throw it to him once or twice, but decoy mostly. But he's got to be your 5th wide receiver or 6th wide receiver. Not your 1, not your 2, not your 3, not even your 4. He's got to be so complimentary. It's part of some kind of, trick play or something like that. And then when you go playing people in positions that they don't belong, and then we, fans and media, we start picking on the player and we start saying, oh, he's not doing the job. And well, of course he's not. It's not his job. You're putting him in a position to fail.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.